Hello friends, if your child is going to appear for RIMC 1 exam in 2023, then you must watch this video till the end. You can obtain the RIMC forms from RIMC even now. As per unofficial reports, even I have heard it has not been confirmed by RIMC or the government through the notification what is the last date of submission of forms, but unconfirmed reports say that it is 31st March. There is no harm in getting the form. So you must visit the RIMC site and get the application form. In this video, I am going to talk about how to fill the RIMC application form and what are the documents that are mandatorily required to be submitted along with this form. Firstly, the form has to be obtained from RIMC only. In case you are planning to photocopy the form, please don't do it. In case somebody else is trying to give you the form that you please take form from us, any coaching institute or any stationery wala, the forms other than obtained from other sources than the RIMC are not valid. RIMC will only issue you the form. You have to purchase it from there. The method of buying the forms has been given in the RIMC website. On our videos, we'll post the link to that video also from where to procure the form. Form looked like this. Form has to be filled by the candidate, to be filled up by the candidate in his own handwriting in capital letters. Both the things you have to keep in mind. It has to be filled in capital letters and it has to be filled in the handwriting of the candidate. The form has to be filled in duplicate. The form has to be obtained from RIMC, but it has to be deposited with the state government agency. The detailed address and list is given along with the instructions when you see the instructions for filling the form. We will discuss each of these columns separately, but the form is in 2 pages. It looks like this. That was the front page. This is the rear page, and here is given the checklist of documents to be attached. So we are going to take it up one by one. So this is how the candidate will fill the form. There has to be photo to be affixed, signature of the candidate, and the details. What I have done is we have filled the sample form. We have now taken screenshots, and I will be explaining what is to be filled in which all columns. So this is how the form is to be filled. Now signature of the headmaster or principal of the school are also required in which the child is studying. So this has to be kept in mind. So if your child is studying somewhere else and you are staying somewhere else, then you have to make sure that the signature and stamp of the school is also there. Certainly RIMC hologram will be there on the form, and only the forms with the hologram are only accepted by the RIMC. Let us see how the form is to be filled. First is affix the photograph and the signature. So some of the children have not yet prepared their signatures or made their signatures. So it is the time that he or she has a signature of his or her own. Now admission application form to be filled by the candidate in his own handwriting in capital letters. It has to be filled with pen. You can't type it. You just have to motivate the child. So what I will recommend is, when you get the form, please make a copy of that. Make the child practice filling the form in that copy and ask him to copy that in the main form. Or you can fill it and let the child copy. But since he or she is appearing for RIMC, they should be smart enough to fill the form themselves. Now name. Candidate's full name is there. So his name, don't take it this thing. So Arun Rawat is the name. Date of birth is day, month, and year in 4 this thing. So his date of birth is 11/12/2011. Place of birth, it will be mentioned in the date of birth certificate. So place of birth has to be correct. Don't go wrong. Lot of people go wrong in filling the form and the form will get rejected. At least 10 to 15% of the forms do get rejected. Religion, Hindu, nationality, Indian, height and weight, though it does not matter much, but whatever is the actual height. So it is in order that you take him to a doctor and get his height and weight measured, or you can do it at home also. Eye vision, you must get it checked. So go to an eye specialist, get this thing, or go to any of the spectacle shop, get the eyes tested. That is a mandatory requirement. Instead of writing 6/6 both eyes without even referring, it is better to get the eyes tested. So that is why this video becomes important. It will give you a fair idea what is to be filled in the form. Gender is male. Domicile, state of domicile is very important. So you have to mention the state of domicile from where the domicile certificate has been issued in the name of the child. In case you do not have the domicile certificate now, it will take around 20 days to 1 month to get the domicile certificate made. Please get it made. Without the domicile certificate, the form will not be accepted. Now, identification here, you have to give 2 identification marks. So we have just written mole. So you can have a mole on the hand, you can have a mole on the arm, on the chest, on the back, on the leg, on thigh, on foot, anywhere, any identification mark. There can be a cut, there can be a birthmark. So please identify these 2 birthmarks also, so that these identification marks can be mentioned in the form. Examination center and name. Dehradun examination centers are also given along with the form. The detailed list of exam centers are there. Carefully choose the examination center, because once you deposit the form, since this is an offline form, you have to fill it and deposit it with the state government. The chances for making correction in the form are not there. In the RMS and Sainik School form, both the forms are online. They give a correction window in which all these things, data can be changed. Now, candidate's Aadhaar number. Most of the people, they have the Aadhaar number, but there are some children where parents have not got the Aadhaar card made. This is the time to get the Aadhaar card made. Please get it made now. Father/mother Aadhaar card number. So any one of the parents Aadhaar card will do. Now here, date for the exam 1st and 2nd June. So ignore this 1st and 2nd June, because exact date of exam will come in the notification. In the form it is mentioned 1st and 2nd June. It is not to be taken as such. Now the exam is held only on 1 day. Initially exam used to be over 2 days. So that is why in the initial form it is written 1st or 2nd June or 1st or 2nd December. Please ignore that. But you have to write 2023 in case your child is appearing in the June exam. So write 2023 here, and admission in the year 2024 January. So all those appearing in the June exam will be joining RIMC if they get selected in 2024 January. For RIMC 2, you have to ignore these boxes. You have to fill these boxes. So the child will be appearing in the December exam, and he or she will be joining RIMC in July next year. So this is how the first part of the form was to be filled. Now, details of members of family, brother and sister only. So some people, in the exuberance of filling the form, mother, father, they will write everything here. Mother, father, separate columns are there. So here, this guy's sister is Priya Rawat's sister. So bracket mein please write sister and give the date of birth. Aryan Rawat. If there is no this thing, write just not applicable. In case you have a single child and he does not have brothers and sisters, doesn't matter. Now father's name, Ranveer Singh Rawat. Father's occupation, please specify. So this gentleman's father is in Defence Forces or Indian Army or Indian Air Force or a businessman or a government servant or a teacher. So write the occupation of the father. Now he can be in a private job. So you write that he is self-employed, or he is in a private firm, or he is working with HDFC or ICICI Bank or ABCD companies. Father's annual income has to be given approximate. So approximate income he has given is 3 lakh rupees. Mother's name. Now mother's occupation. Most of the ladies nowadays are working women. Write the occupation. And if you write the occupation, please write the mother's annual income. In case mother happens to be a housewife, just write homemaker, housewife, and whatever is the income is right. Now, permanent address is the permanent address if you have a permanent address. Otherwise, you can give the current address also as permanent address. So, this is the address of my institute. So, this is the second portion on first page. PIN code you have to mention. In case some people are not aware of the PIN code of their area, please get that. Reason is your the admit card will come on your permanent address, though you are submitting a self-address envelope. In that, the admit card will come in that envelope only. But subsequently, in case RMC wants to correspond with the parents and all, this is going to be in their records as permanent address. Address for correspondence can be same or can be different from permanent address, but you must write it again. Again, mention the PIN code number. Now, telephone number, office residence, in case it is not there, just write NA or not applicable or not there, or just leave it blank. Mobile number you must mention. The mobile number should be functional. Mobile number should not be switched off. Say father is in Navy and he has gone for sailing and the mobile number is switched off. So the mobile number which is generally on every day for the major portion of the day, that mobile number should be given. Email ID, if the child has the email ID, otherwise one of the parents' email ID can be given, because children are also very small, they may or may not have their own mobile phone. So one of the parents' mobile phone and email ID has to be there. Make sure that this email ID is functional, it is running, you know the password and all, and you can access the email. Now name and address of the school in which presently studying. So he is studying in Army School Birpur, right? Which state, which district? So it should be Army School Birpur, Dehradun. He is studying in class 6, medium of instruction is English. How many times appeared before RIMC entrance exam? Give state roll number and date and year. So in case on top, if you see, the candidate's roll number was to be filled by the state office. When you get the admit card, you will get this roll number also. So you have to roll number and date and year. So date and date of the exam and year of the exam has to be mentioned. So this gentleman has not appeared for the RIMC exam. So write not applicable, NA, you can write NA, it is not applicable, and specimen signatures of the candidate. So he or she must put his or her signature here, because when you go for examination, you may be required to put the same signature in the attendance sheet, and same signature will also be there on the admit card. Now, brief resume of military service rendered by the candidate, father or near relative if any. In case there is none of your family members has been in the armed forces or in the military, write not applicable. But his father is a serving lieutenant colonel. His date of commission is 18 December 2002. His uncle is a retired brigadier. Date of commission is 12 June 1980. And date of retirement is 1st Feb 2022. Whatever is the details of service, you can write the regiment, you can write places served, but the space is only just 2 lines, so you have to fit into that. So write only that much information, which is this thing. So uncle, maternal uncle, paternal uncle, you can write whatever additional information you want to give. Now special achievement in sports of the candidate and other fields. So this guy has participated in inter-school basketball competition in 2022 and zonal debate competition in 2021 and 2022. So he has written. Now, certified that the above mentioned facts are correct to the best of my knowledge, and believe and that no relevant facts have been suppressed to secure admission by irregular means. I have just today only made the video wherein a lady submitted the fake date of birth certificate just to get the child admitted. So all these things are not acceptable anywhere in the world. Don't do that. If the above information found to be incorrect or wrongly mentioned, the candidature will be rejected. So they have very, very clearly specified, and you have certified it, you are signing it here. Here is signature of parent / guardian. So mother or father, anybody can this thing. In case the child happens to be staying with the guardians, even the guardian can sign. Now date and place from where the form is being filled, and here is the signature of headmaster or the principal of the school in which the child is studying, and here is the RIMC hologram. The form has to have the RIMC hologram. Now below that is the checklist of documents to be attached. So first is, I have highlighted that a fixed photograph on the application form must be signed by the candidates below the photograph in the box. So signature of the candidates is not required on the photograph, but in the box which is below the photograph. 2 additional photographs are required, must be sent along with the application form, duly signed by the candidate on the reverse side. So you have to sign the photograph on the reverse side. Copy of the birth certificate duly attested by class 1 gazetted officer. Now this is where the problem lies. You have to find out a class 1 gazetted officer nearby. You go and search on the internet which all are the gazetted officers. Magistrates are there, government officials are there, doctors are there, military officers are there. So please find out a class 1 gazetted officer, and the birth certificate has to be duly attested. Now the process of attestation is that you get the copy and the original certificate. The gentleman who is signing or the lady who is signing will verify the antecedents the correctness, the authenticity of the document, and then they will attest it. Original school studying certificate with photograph attested by the principal. So you have to get a simple certificate from the school principal stating that Mr. So-and-so, whose date of birth, his this thing, studying and age of the candidate as per school record. So they have to say two things, that the child is studying in my school and his date of birth or her date of birth as per school records is this. So all principals who are signing these forms should go through these instructions carefully. Make sure and guide the parents in case they are trying to do some left, right, or they are trying to have another date tested by you. Please don't do that. Self-addressed envelope with the postage stamp of 42 rupees. For as long as I am concerned, please put a stamp of 50 rupees so that the admit card reaches in time with to you. And sent to respective state government authority for receipt of admit card. So admit card, the form firstly has to be sent to the state government office authority and not to RIMC. And you have to send a self-addressed envelope also with postage stamp with your correct address where you want to receive the admit card. Copy of the domicile certificate of the candidate duly attested by class 1 gazetted officer. Again I said domicile certificate will also be attested, and copy of Aadhaar card on both sides self-attested. Where self-attested means the candidate has to sign himself or herself on the Aadhaar card. Now, only printed application forms with serial number and RIMC hologram will be accepted. Photostat copies will be rejected. To be submitted in duplicate to the relevant state government authority to the address given in the guidelines for admission. So, on the address which is given in the guidelines for admission, you have to submit that. We will make another video, we'll tell you which are the offices, but that is not required actually because it is self-explanatory. Now Aadhaar card, whatever this thing we have put both sides of the Aadhaar card, it can be on the same page and it has to be self-attested by the candidate himself or herself. So please make sure that you don't forget this. In case you don't have a Aadhaar card, please get the Aadhaar card made. Now this is the birth certificate which has been issued by Department of Medical Health and Family Welfare by Uttarakhand government. So they will issue this birth certificate. The date on this birth certificate on the school records and the Aadhaar card has to be the same. In case there is a discrepancy in date of birth, well in time you should write to the concerned authority and get the anomaly corrected. There are no two ways, and nowhere you should be using unfair means to change the date of birth of a child just to secure admission in the RIMC. Even if it is found out at a later date, your child will be thrown out of RIMC, NDA or Indian Army, Indian Armed Forces, even he or she happens to be, because forgery is a big crime. Don't do it. This is how a domicile certificate looks like. So this domicile certificate has been given by UP government, Deputy DC's DM's office. So this is how the Mool Nivasi Praman Patra or the domicile certificate is issued. So there is no escape. You have to get the domicile certificate of the child made. Lot of government offices say that we will not make the domicile certificate. Please don't this thing. Please speak to the highest authority. If you are required to meet the DM, if you are required to meet the Chief Secretary of the state, please do that. But please get the domicile certificate made. Parents' domicile certificate will not be accepted. The students or the candidate domicile certificate is only required. We have the online batches running. The aim of this video is not to sell you the online batch, but in case your child is looking for the RIMC coaching, we have multiple batches of RIMC going on right now. We'll be having a crash course. We'll be having a 3-month course from 1st of March. February batch has started just now. So you can just get in touch with us. Our contact details are given in the description box along with this video. Certainly, in case you have more queries regarding the documentation part, please get in touch with us. My name is Col Amardeep and we can be contacted at these numbers. So you will find these numbers also in the description box as well as on the screen. Please send us a WhatsApp message. If you have liked this video, please like it. If you have found this video useful, please write a comment. And do not forget to share this video with your friends and colleagues whose children may be joining RIMC this year or next year, or maybe thinking of joining RIMC in the days to come. Thank you. Bye-bye and Jai Hind.